I didn't become a millionaire at 20 because I was lucky. I became a millionaire because I brainwashed myself into becoming someone the world couldn't ignore. Listen, nobody handed me anything. Nobody rescued me. Nobody believed in me. I had to reprogram my entire identity, destroy every limitation, and rebuild myself from the ground up. While everyone my age was wasting years, I was rewriting my destiny, one painful, uncomfortable, aggressive decision at a time. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. Not theories, not motivation. Just a 6 brutal mindset shift that turned a regular kid into a future millionaire machine. Stay till the end, because once you hear this, you'll never think like a normal person again. I rewired my identity. I stopped thinking like a kid and started acting like a CEO. Listen to me. Nothing changes in your life until you change. Not your bank account, not your confidence, not your results. Your identity is the steering wheel of your entire existence. If that steering wheel is held by a kid who's confused, distracted, scared, and waiting for permission, you're never going anywhere big. You'll stay broke, overwhelmed, and stuck in neutral. So I did the one thing most people never do. I rewired my identity. I made a decision. The childish, small thinking version of me had to die. Not tomorrow, not next month, right now. Because here's the truth nobody wants to admit. You can't build millionaire results with minimum wage thinking. You can't build a CEO level life with a high school mindset. You can't dominate the marketplace while behaving like you're still figuring out who you are. I had to stop thinking like a kid and start moving like a CEO. And the shift was brutal, intentional, and revolutionary. When I say I rewired my identity, I'm talking about a full demolition and rebuild. I studied how winners walk, talk, act, decide, risk, grind, and execute. Then I forced myself, day after day, to embody that standard until it became my default. Kids look for approval. CEOs look for outcomes. Kids wait to be told what to do. CEOs wake up with a mission. Kids chase dopamine. CEOs chase domination. Kids want comfort. CEOs want results. The moment I understood this, my entire life flipped. I stopped taking emotional advice from broke people. I stopped making decisions based on fear. I stopped playing small because someone else was uncomfortable with my ambition. I replaced the kid identity with the executive identity. And suddenly my actions had power, direction, and momentum. Every single day, I asked myself one question. Would a CEO do this? Would a CEO wake up late? Would a CEO scroll for hours? Would a CEO waste time gossiping? Would a CEO be scared to invest? Would a CEO negotiate with their dreams? If the answer was no, I shut it down, deleted it, walked away from it instantly. I trained my brain to reject weakness. I conditioned my habits to match my vision. I refused to operate on kid settings ever again. This wasn't mindset work. This wasn't journaling. This wasn't positive thinking. This was identity reconstruction powered by obsession, discipline, and pure grit. And you know what happened next? My results went nuclear. My confidence skyrocketed. My decision-making sharpened like a blade. Opportunities started showing up. Because I was showing up like someone who actually deserved them. People follow leaders. Money follows leaders. Success follows leaders. And leaders are built, not born, through identity. Most people want to be a millionaire, but their self-image is still operating at the level of a student who's scared to make noise. I wasn't scared anymore. I wasn't waiting anymore. I wasn't asking anymore. I became the CEO of my life. And CEOs don't dream small. CEOs don't hesitate. CEOs don't apologize for wanting more. CEOs don't play defense. They execute, they dominate, they scale. Once I rewired my identity, the world became negotiable. Rules became flexible. Opportunities became reachable. Success became inevitable. If you want to elevate your life, stop rewiring your goals and start rewiring your identity. Because when you upgrade the operator, the output has no choice but to explode. I crushed every comfort zone like IT was an enemy. Let me tell you something brutal and true. Comfort is the silent killer of every dream you've ever had. Comfort is the trap. Comfort is the enemy. Comfort is the reason most people never get rich, never get respected, never get powerful, and never achieve anything beyond average. You want to know how I broke out? I made discomfort my home. I brainwashed myself to walk straight into the fire that everyone else runs from. Listen closely. Nothing extraordinary ever comes from comfort. Comfort keeps you scrolling instead of grinding. Comfort keeps you hoping instead of executing. Comfort keeps you talking big while living small. Comfort is the drug. And most people are overdosing. But me, I went to war with comfort. Every time my brain said rest, I said work. Every time it said slow down, I said speed up. Every time it said be safe, I said take the shot. I forced myself to do the things I hated until they became the things that built me. Waking up early, non-negotiable. Turning off distractions, mandatory. Taking massive, imperfect action, daily. Facing rejection, required. Chasing pressure, necessary. That's what success demands. Not positivity, not motivation, not manifesting, but pressure consistent, heavy, uncomfortable pressure winners don't rise to comfort. They rise to challenges. Let me break it down simply. Kids avoid discomfort because they think it hurts. CEOs crave discomfort because they know it builds power. Kids want things to be easy. CEOs turn difficulty into dominance. Kids hide from pressure. CEOs hunt pressure. Every time I stepped into discomfort, I leveled up. Every time I leaned into fear, expanded. Every time I pushed past my limits, I created new ones. While everybody around me was protecting their feelings, I was strengthening my mindset. While they were chasing the weekend, I was chasing opportunity. While they were complaining about life being hard, I was using hard as my competitive advantage. Here's what changed everything. I made discomfort a requirement, not an exception. I didn't wait for motivation to hit. I didn't wait for the mood to be right. I didn't wait for perfect timing. Comfort waits. Champions act. I stopped using excuses to protect my ego, and I started using pressure to stretch my potential. You know why discomfort is powerful? Because it removes the competition. Most people will never do the uncomfortable work. They'll avoid the call, avoid the risk, avoid the new skill, avoid the grind. And that's why they stay exactly where they are. The moment I realized this, I made discomfort my greatest weapon. I knew that if I was willing to do what 99% avoided, I'd earn what 99% would never touch. Discomfort became my strategy, my operating system, my advantage, my identity. You want to be a millionaire young? Then you better get addicted to discomfort. Go where the pressure is. Step into the things that scare you. Do the actions that stretch you. Say yes to the opportunities you don't feel ready for. Break the limits you put on yourself. Because comfort builds average people. But discomfort builds dominant people. I didn't just break my comfort zone. I crushed it, burned it, and walked away with a new level of power. And that's how everything changed. I treated time like oxygen. Every second counted. You want to know the difference between people who dream of millions and the people who actually make millions. It's not talent. It's not luck. It's not upbringing. It's time discipline. It's the way they treat every single second. I learned early, time is the most valuable currency in the universe, and it's the only one you can never get back. You waste money, you can earn it again. You waste energy, you can recover. You waste time, you're done. It's gone forever. Most people act like they're going to live 500 years. They walk slow, think slow, respond slow, move slow, and then wonder why their life is slow. Not me. I treated time like it was oxygen, and someone was choking me for it. I looked around and realized something insane. People were throwing their hours away like trash. Scrolling for 3 hours. Sleeping without purpose. Watching random content. Hanging out just to kill time. Kill time? Time was the only thing keeping me alive. So I rearranged my entire life around one principle. Every second must push me forward. No wasted minutes. No empty days. No random habits. No pointless conversations. No unnecessary delays. My time became my weapon. My schedule became my armor. And my urgency became the thing that separated me from the masses. Let me tell you something real. Most people don't fail because they're dumb. They fail because they're slow. They wait. They hesitate. They double check. They rethink. They push things to tomorrow. Tomorrow is the graveyard of your potential. When I switched from kid time to CEO time, everything accelerated. I became a machine. Focused, sharp, efficient. I stopped living in reaction and started living in intention. I didn't ask myself, how much time do I have? I asked, how much can I build in the time I have? That one shift changed my life. I studied the billionaires. They all understood the same truth. Your calendar predicts your future. So I built mine with aggression. Hours for skill building, hours for sales, Hours for branding, hours for studying giants, hours for executing, improving, expanding. Not a single minute left to chance. Not a single hour available for excuses. And guess what happened? My productivity went nuclear, my speed doubled, my income followed, my results exploded. People kept asking me, how did you level up so fast? Easy. I didn't waste a single second. Most people treat time like a refillable bottle. I treated it like the last breath in my lungs. Think about this. While others waited for the perfect moment, I took imperfect action. While they binge watched shows, I binge learned high income skills. While they slept 10 hours, I worked 10 hours. While they were casual, I was intentional. While they planned, I executed. That's why success chased me. I was outpacing everybody. Speed is a superpower. Urgency is a multiplier. Time mastery is the ultimate domination tool. Listen. If you want to be a millionaire young, you got to stop treating time like it's cheap. Stop wasting it. Stop killing it. Stop acting like you'll get more of it. You won't. I built wealth fast because I respected time fiercely. I worshipped it. I protected it with violence. I used it with precision. I extracted maximum value from every day. Every hour had a purpose. Every minute had a mission. Every second had intention. That's how you scale. That's how you win. That's how you dominate life while everyone else is still waiting for the right moment. I didn't wait. I didn't delay. I didn't drift. I moved fast, loud, and relentlessly. Because time waits for nobody, and I refused to let it outrun me. I built a ruthless work ethic. Outworking everyone was non-negotiable. Let me make something painful clear. You don't get to be a young millionaire unless you're willing to outwork everybody. Not some people, not the lazy ones. Everybody. A lot of people want the lifestyle, the freedom, the cars, the respect, the money, but they don't want the work. They want the trophy without stepping into the arena. They want the glory without surviving the grind. That's why they lose. That's why they stay broke. That's why the world walks right over them. But me, I made the grind my identity. I built a work ethic so ruthless, so violent, so intense that I became impossible to compete with. Here's the truth. Most people stop when they're tired. I stopped when the work was done. Most people slow down when it gets hard. I sped up. Most people need motivation. I needed responsibility. I needed domination. I needed to prove to myself that nobody could outgrind me. That's the mindset that builds millionaires. There were nights I didn't sleep. Days I didn't take breaks. Moments where I was dead exhausted, but still pushing because I knew one thing. My work ethic was the only thing I controlled 100%. I couldn't control the market. I couldn't control luck. I couldn't control timing. But I could always control how hard I worked, how fast I moved, how committed I stayed. And I weaponized that. Listen, effort is a currency, and most people go broke because they invest it lightly. They do just enough. They give 60%. They do comfortable work, convenient work, low pressure work. Then they wonder why nothing changes. I eliminated comfortable effort from my life. My standard was simple, 10 times effort, minimum. If someone studied 1 hour, I studied 5. If someone posted one piece of content, I posted 10. If someone practiced a skill for a week, I practiced it for a month. If someone made 20 calls, I made 200. I didn't do more. I did way more. I took what they did and multiplied it by obsession. That's how you win. That's how you pass people who've been in the game for years. Not with talent, with volume. Painful, consistent, unstoppable volume. My work ethic became my competitive edge. It separated me from the crowd. It turned me into a threat. It forced success to notice me because I was too loud to be ignored. When people were relaxing, I was building. When they were scrolling, I was improving. When they were sleeping in, I was awake, sharpening my weapons. While they feared failure, I feared being average. That fear kept me grinding like a psychopath. And here's the part most people don't get. Work ethic doesn't just build success. It builds identity. When you work at a level most people can't imagine, you start believing you deserve results they can't imagine. Your confidence grows. Your ambition stretches. Your mindset transforms. I became addicted to the hustle because the hustle made me powerful. If you don't have a ruthless work ethic, nothing else matters. Not your dreams, not your skills, not your goals, not your mindset. Everything collapses without work. Everything stays fantasy without execution. I didn't hope for success. I hunted it. I chased it. I attacked it with insane effort. And I didn't stop until it surrendered. You want to become a millionaire young? Then you better build a work ethic that embarrasses your old self. A work ethic that scares your competition. A work ethic that forces people to ask, how is this person doing so much? Simple. You outwork everybody until outworking becomes your superpower. I eliminated broke mindsets. No negativity, no excuses, no victim mentality. Let me be brutally honest. You cannot think like a broke person and expect to live like a rich one. It doesn't matter how hard you work, how good your ideas are, or how much potential you have if your mind is poisoned with excuses, fear, negativity, and self-pity. Your success is dead before it even starts. Broke isn't just a financial condition. Broke is a mindset. Broke is a lifestyle. Broke is an identity. And I refuse to let that identity live inside me. I had to make a decision, a violent, uncomfortable, game-changing decision. Cut off every broke thought, broke belief, and broke influence in my life. No more complaining, no more poor me. No more victim talk. No more I can't. No more it's hard. No more what if it doesn't work. That's how children think. That's how people stay trapped forever. That's how average becomes permanent. I killed that mindset before it killed my future. Here's the truth. Nobody wants to face some people aren't losing because they lack opportunity. They're losing because they refuse to let go of the stories they hide behind. It's not my fault. I didn't get the chance. I wasn't born rich. I don't know where to start. I don't have support. You think millionaires had support. You think winners had it easy. You think high performers got to cry their way to success? Absolutely not. The market doesn't care about your feelings. Success doesn't care about your excuses. Dreams don't care about your story. Only you care. And that's why most people stay stuck. I looked in the mirror and I told myself the truth. Everything in my life is my responsibility. Not the government, not my parents, not my circumstances, not my past, not my environment, not my luck. Me, only me. That shift was nuclear. When you stop blaming everything and start owning everything, your power multiplies, your execution increases, your confidence rises, your direction sharpens, your results explode. Victims wait for life to change. Leaders change life themselves. I eliminated negativity ruthlessly. If a thought didn't empower me, I shut it down. If a person didn't push me, I cut them off. If an environment drained me, I walked away from it. If a conversation lowered my standards, I ended it. Protecting my mindset became my survival strategy. I refused to let broke thinking hijack my destiny. I surrounded myself with ambition, not excuses, with doers, not talkers, with energy, not doubt, with vision, not fear. I chose environments that made me feel small because small environments make people feel big. And average people love feeling big. That's why they stay average. I wanted rooms where I felt underqualified, underdeveloped, outperformed, outclassed. So I would rise to match the level. And here's the part most people never learn. When you eliminate broke mindsets, you make room for millionaire mindsets. You make room for confidence. You make room for creativity. You make room for faith in your abilities. You make room for discipline. You make room for aggression. You make room for execution. You clean out the I can't and make space for watch me. That's when things shift. That's when momentum builds. That's when your life stops crawling and starts skyrocketing. Truth is simple. As long as your mind is broke, your bank account will be too. As long as you think small, you will live small. As long as you talk like a victim, life will treat you like one.